Pirates have a better team than Stellenbosch, but Stellenbosch have already outshone Pirates this season. They played 4 times and lost 3 times. I feel that Pirates deserve the same criticism as Kaizer Chiefs.
It's a show of unison like I've never seen. We've got absolutely everybody involved in this show in the studio today. We are missing one, but everybody else showing up. Because Podcast Fridays has become quite a thing, hasn't it? It's become a conversation starter for the weekend. It's given people pointers. You know, somebody says, Andile, I listen just so Mangfika Machiteni, I'll have pointers and I'll have points that they'll never raise. They think I'm the biggest football fendi because of what I do on Friday evenings. As Paula out in Pretoria, I know he brings out a speaker and he sits outside his yard so he can listen to the show. He says, listen, Andile, I love you, but I can miss every other day, not Fridays. We appreciate that. And today is going to be exactly that. It's going to be, a bunch of people sitting around a mic, and you're one of them, with you in tow, having conversations and laughing using the beautiful game of football as a basis for that conversation. Huge game on the weekend in the Premier League. Huge games on the weekend in the DStv Premiership. So we'll have those conversations and more. The guys are all here. And it is not normal that during a league season, we call Pro Pilane to be a part of the show. It's normally just 3 people. But because of what today is, Pro Pilane has got to come on. And we've got to celebrate the life of Dr. Mnandi, Siphiwe Ignatius Mkhonza. Born just at a tender time. I mean, 1979 was just around the corner, wasn't it? October 1979. And in 2024, we're saying goodbye to such a young soul. His 3 beautiful children in attendance at the memorial we had today. One couldn't even look them in the face without their heart just breaking a little bit. 11 after the hour 6. It's going to be a rocky one. It's going to be a lovely one. All week, I've said to you, please hold it for Friday. I can't stop you anymore. It's Friday. That day has come. The moment has arrived. Our 90 minutes of what this is, our football match, our full game, starts now, and I'd love to hear from you. The number is 086-000-2160 for you to give us a call and share your memories, your moments, not only on the show, but the man when he was at, there's 8 teams. I don't know if I can get through all of them. Please switch the guys' mics on before I introduce them so they can help me if I forget. Let me see if I can say all of Mkhonza's teams. Black Leopards, Bloemfontein Celtic, Maritzburg United, Kaizer Chiefs, Golden Arrows, Supersport United. 9 is Bafana. There's 2. I've said Maritzburg. Amazulu, and Ria Stars. There you go. 9 teams all in total if you include the national team that he played for. If there is anything from those times that you'd like to share with us. We're also going to be playing a little bit of what Dr. Kumalo shared when he was speaking at the memorial. And of course, you can't leave out Edward Mutale, because whenever he gets a platform to speak, he shows us that football was just part of his talent. Comedian and perhaps actor should have been the other. Let's take a break. When we come back, Mark is here, Pro Pilane is here, Beast was here, and Nadim. It's 15 after the hour 6 on the Mighty Metro FM. I think there's nobody that's, I don't want to say celebrating, but I'm pretty sure people in the Safa building are saying, hey, it's a good thing they're in memorial today, because they're not going to talk about the fact that we were raided by the Hawks. They're not going to come here and be like, hey, Danny, take the phone. Why were you raided? But we'll get to it. Today we've got to put all those aside. It's 15 after the hour 6 on the Mighty Metro FM. This is Sports Amplified with Andile. I am Andile Ncube. Malcolm is driving our desk. We've got Timothy Miranda and Thabo Nkwala, who is in studio. Tabo's never in studio. He's in studio today. I call him the genius. You got Biso, Nadim, as well as Mark. And on the line all the way from Durban is Pro Pilane. Pro on the game.
We're in Polokwane with Andile. We've got a very, very important game tomorrow. Anyway, good evening to you. Good evening to the brothers in the studio, and good evening to all the listeners of this number 1 sports show in South Africa.
So I have to ask him.
It's almost guaranteed. Wherever Mazula playing away, they will lose. It's guaranteed. I mean, even those who are betting, they can put 10,000. It doesn't matter.
Why?
Away, they are very poor. If you look in the last 10 months, they've lost. They won only 3 matches away. So they are just terrible away. They even lost to the team in the bottom of the log. I mean, that team, like, they got
Yeah,
like
but
4 points.
we are not the only ones.
No, but yeah, you're not the only one. But I mean, yeah, the only team that they just started the year with. They've been struggling up until they meet Amazulu.
Well, let's leave it because I mean, Pro is not here at his capacity of Amazulu. He's here as a member of this team, so let's not give him too much of a hard time about Amazulu.
Yeah, no,
Pro,
definitely.
great to have you. Thank you so
You
much.
must just tell them to pull up their socks.
Biso, are you good?
I'm good.
All right. I saw you wearing a shirt, like a formal shirt today.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm Mkhonza. I didn't know you owned one.
Once in a while, I try.
All right. And Mark, you good?
Yeah, good to be here. Obviously difficult circumstances, but we happier to celebrate the life of a legend.
Nadima, I just got in straight to you. I didn't actually finally greet you. Hi, how are you?
Yeah, Andile. It's so painful what we had during the week about Mkhonza. It's actually unbelievable and painful. It's one of those things that we need to live with it and accept it.
What is he, 3 years older than me? That's a young man, because I consider myself quite a young man. Mark?
Yeah. I concur with you. I mean, he's a few months older than me, so...
Hey, Makum Dala, man.
So I know exactly what you mean.
Right, let's begin perhaps. I want to start with Edward Mutale, just to get the mood right. We've got it, right? We're going to play a little bit of what Edward Mutale, who was giving a bit of a speech earlier on. That was a very nice gesture, by the way. The South African Football Association's gesture, printing Mkhonza's, giving the family, the national team or something of national, that give the flag.
Yeah.
They gave him his last jersey with his name and his number, and they handed that over to the family. I thought that was a very nice gesture.
No, it certainly was. And, called upon to do the handover, former captain and vice captain, as Majen says he was. Aaron Mokoena was there.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I was just going to say, because Dr. Jordan obviously asked him, wait, did you ever captain? And, in typical Majen's fashion, he just whispered into the mic, I was vice.
I don't believe it.
I was vice.
Somebody out there always knows these things. Please let us know. And if you're thinking it's a Soweto derby tomorrow, don't worry. We've got you covered. At some point, we will be speaking a little bit about the derby. We've got the stats and the facts from Opta Jabu, so we'll get into that. But also, it's a big game in the Premier League. Some seem to think that it could go a long way to being the decider. Nadim.
The Premier League.
Yeah. Do you think this weekend's game could be somewhat of a decider?
It can either way, but the team that is going to win the Premier League is not playing. But this one, it just open the way for Arsenal. Because if you look, you see Liverpool beat Man City, then it opens Arsenal a strong chance of like winning the league. But obvious, if Man City wins, then it's one of those matches where
you think Arsenal are going to win the league?
Of course, they would definitely win it. They're on form. They're playing well, scoring goals.
I know you're sitting in the car right now. You're sitting at home right now, and you're saying the best line that you can say to people that say things like that, because you and I both know what Arsenal will do. Say it. Thank you. That's exactly what they're going to do.
Arsenal are going to win the league end of the season.
They're going to Arsenal. But let's hear it. I did promise you to hear from my gents. Very casual conversations today. I know you're thinking, hey, there's normally some sort of structure that we need to do. But it's a little out the window today, because today we're a bunch of people sitting around and sharing moments of a dear friend. Malume Caesar, who's asking, Andile, just very quickly, is it true? Yes, it is true. The Hawks did raid the SAFA offices, and the statement issued by the Hawks is exactly correct. SAFA, I've just been told a couple of seconds ago now, are going to release their own statement on that matter. But yes, the Hawks did raid, and when that happened, Dr. Jenny Joran was not there. He was in fact here at the SABC when the raid was happening. So yeah, it's absolutely correct. We'll give you more information as that story goes. It's a huge story, because if you look at all the allegations that have been put up against SAFA over the years, you wonder when you get a Hawks that goes in and says, we're raiding, we need a couple of things, we need to get some files, we need to get some things, as to which exactly the matter they're after, or they're seeking clarification on, or investigating. At this moment, I don't want to further spread what you're seeing on the internet. So allow us to get you factual information and then bring it as is. Right now, though, here he is. He was awaited, and many couldn't wait to hear from him this afternoon. It was, this afternoon, when he came on stage. Majens Mutale speaking about Mkhonza.
So that's the reason out here, Rhoda, Look, unfortunately, I got no dlala le yena. Nakidlala nanchevel. Yeah, he was still a small boy. I go kindergarten. Like Saulelas Kwasa ball, kindergarten. So, but fortunately, Akela Taulo, I used to watch him Habapala, go Bomazulu, Parrot. I mean, Chiefs, sorry. Why give me crosses the floor? I mean, Chiefs. What, and what? Oh, but the team Zangata. You can see skill. Or the silly in demand, didn't because how the Malabula, I want to beat a very no, loud hall. I have beat to one swim. So, yeah, he played to all those teams. And I used to sit there like Malumi or Malumi, I could say, Are Nana Limotunyana, I give these stock sweets. This boy, sure. But Nalum Nautiga long throw in. And he could think, ne? When it comes to tackles, Nalum Nat. But Leon Gulu Nana Luisha. And then I shall confidence. Okay, Mkhonza. Yeah. Again to another rule. They do not share, but they do not rectify. I corregabo, I correcam. Remember, Skererona, Radalu user the chemical in Yana Zedu, Moditlapo. I wrote the rain consisting of mates, but Baba Manalu services they do. So, Hosam nut, Hosa able to straw, but how fat. Utlabodogar Kipalata opponent, Garza, Katuaitumat. Yeah, so that was Mkhonza.
Do you remember the own goal?
Yeah, no, definitely.
You can't forget that own goal.
The one against, Moses Mapita when I was playing for Pilana. Amazulu, okay, let me just put Pilana aside. Yeah.
Describe it to us, Nadeem. For those that don't remember that own goal, who was he playing?
I've forgotten who was he playing. But I think the one thing is the own goal because it was like in the center. To score a goal from an end center, just unbelievable.
Scored an own goal from the center.
Yes, it was an.
Yes, we were playing Maritzburg United.
Yeah, and
in the derby.
Yeah, Maritzburg. Yeah, Plan is right.
Yeah, they were trying him as a defensive midfielder, and Mkhonza tried to this thing of playing for the back. And halfway line, Baba, goalkeeper was off the goalpost, and 89 is trying to support the build-up play, and Mkhonza thought otherwise. But my favorite own goal of all time was the one, I think he was starting up at Celtic. It was his first or second game. I'm not sure whether Usaimon Khopane was the goalkeeper or was Ukosana Masego. Mkhonza was challenging his striker who was one-on-one because the keeper, and Mkhonza was coming from behind. And he hit it in Ngopozo straight to his own neck. That's why he got the name, the King of Own Goal.
No, that's why you gave him the key.
It's 27 after the hour 6. Let's take one more from Dr. Kumalo, who had something to say as well. And then after that, we'll have a conversation about it. But remember, we are still waiting for your calls. We are going to be taking your calls, your voice notes, and then going a little bit into the derby and the important games from the weekend.
Now, as usual, when you go to a camp, it. So I'm the only player that's coming outside the country to come and play in this tournament. So I press the lift, 6th floor. I open the door. So I'm standing there by the door with my bags. Hey, no answer. Slowly, we attend Mkhonza. Mara Doggy bathi ngishare nawe. Ngithi unesibindi wavuma ukushare ne-1996 holder African Cup of Nations champion. Khona wawungena irumini ngakafiki. But we're here 2 days before qalela phansi ke. Thathi lift ungene ngehotel up nge-lift unoke ngizokuvulela. And you know he did that.
Doggy's so abusive. Doggy's abusive.
Was a bully.
I thought he was a bully.
Was a bully.
Is that it? Is that the whole clip? Oh no, I wanted more. I wanted more. Oh man, but that's the case when you're out at camp, and you know all too well about that. But more than anything, it builds that thing when two people are together for so long.
Yeah, certainly. And, you build that kind of camaraderie, getting to know someone. And, you camp with a lot of different people. So you get to know individuals. You generally, during the week, you're on the field. We see one another at training. We kicking one another, whatever the case may be, trying to get a place in the team. But you really only get to know your teammates when you get into camp and you have to spend the night with someone, and you generally room with different people, and you get to know them, a deeper side of them. If you want to know stories from footballers, I guarantee you, speak to them about their times in camp. I've got a few stories even from camp, but now's not the time for that. Stories like Doc just told now.
Yeah.
That's what, I promise you can make movies out of those kind of stories. I guarantee you.
Well, they did get together and they did start speaking, and that's when Doggy realized that they were closer than he actually thought. Have a listen to what Dr. Khumalo had to say about himself, Siphiwe Mkhonza with Dr. Mnandi, and their fathers.
His father used to take care of me mangihamba ne-Chiefs ngisasemncane. Coach Sketch nabo isinsweleng. Mangikhula ngidlalela i-Chiefs engizoretire, Mkhonza was one of the defenders. Mhlawumbe nina nibona nje i-15 ishayina, but i-protection beyiphuma la. Ngoba if you kick me or ngithekile kabi, uzoza uMkhonza ngilele lapha phansi athi ngiyenzeni sibali. Mtokisi ngimenzeni, amiyeke ngizomgwinya, and uzomgwinya because the protection that I got from the father escalated to the son. Njengoba ngime la ngibhlungu because Siphiwe was one of the legends that made us proud in silence, because umsebenzi wakhe bekawenza angarasi, but ama results yiwo bewayenza umsindo. And it's not one of those legends that waited for ukuthi anikezwe umsebenzi. Because sometimes you can point a finger, but what are you doing when ukuthi ube so? So I asked him a question. He says, Judo, your father was an attacker and you are a defender. So my father was a defender, mina nya attacker. So masingangena efieldini shoot mina nyofisa wena. And the one thing for sure ngizoguarantee yona ubaba ngeke adlule ethameni lami. But mina bazongivala amehlo ngizodlula kuwo. Athi angeke ngizokunqamula Toki.
Oh man, thoroughly enjoyed that. Stories that you don't ordinarily get to hear. Pro, you worked with Mkhonza here, not only on the radio and Sport Night Amplified, but also you got to work with him as a researcher and a person working at the SABC. You know his history from the knowledge, the well that you have of football. What are yours, Ofungwabe?
But Andile, first and foremost, let me send my condolences to the Mkhonza family. I know how much Mkhonza loved umndeni wakubo nomndeni wakhe. When we first met, I interviewed him on my YouTube channel, and we clicked from that day. We couldn't stop to call each other and talk about the game. And obviously, Mkhonza is one guy that really listened to criticism about and every time he wanted to improve. Or where he was not articulated enough point work, and he always wanted to improve. And I remember a funny part is Emmarisburg, when we watched Umsinga United versus Orbit College, and you remember that match did not end well. We were running all over the stadium and trying to hide in the bushes. And Mkhonza, when we met in the parking, his eyes were all out. He was so scared quickly what has happened in the stadium, because it was the first time most of us experienced Leandro. And I remember we had to do a podcast Fridays where he was driving on the entry, and I was also driving going home, and we were shaking that day. And when we met Olundi, and we started laughing at each other about what happened, and on our way to do our makeup, and Mkhonza was always Guma team's eyes on that at the time. If who is who's doing what, but at the same time we were laughing at each other. Who's in the and she always in makeup, who's and who's angry than the other. So we were always chasing each other, and I'll always miss him for being a genuine human being, and for being a big brother to some of us, because Mkhonza was very, very supportive. No matter how many mistakes you make, Mkhonza will never remind me of the mistakes that you make, but in fact will always look forward and say, isn't this a positive, so that you'll be encouraged and do better next time. I'll miss all those moments with him, and may his soul rest in perfect peace, and I will miss him.
All the best for this weekend. Thank you so much for joining us. We've got to let you go, of course, because you've got other matters to attend to. Thank you so much, Propilani.
Thank you so much, Botani.
One of the founding members, of course, of this platform here, Propilani. He took this platform, and what he's done with the opportunities he's gotten here as Propilani, it's landed him with the national team, and now as a permanent fixture of AmaZulu. Forever proud of him. Mkhonza was too. Biso, you, as a part of this team, whether on air or off air, every Friday you're here. You get to cut and edit him and throw him onto our YouTube channels, all our different channels, and you knew how much he loved to take a good photo.
It definitely did. He would always want a good photo, and I only got to work with Mkhonza for about 6-7 months, and in that 6-7 months, that every time that I came here to studio, I'm always here 30 minutes early. But I would always find Mkhonza here already. He would be doing his research. He would be asking me to find a certain statistic for him. He was always trying to improve. And the first thing he would ask every time he stepped out of the studio was, how did I do today? Was it good? Did I deliver my points correctly? Did you understand what I was saying? He was always trying to improve, always trying to inform South Africa. And I was telling you the other day when I came in, when we found out the news, that I was going through social media and I'm looking at the things that people are saying about him, and everybody respected Mkhonza so much, and the amount of love that I saw for him on that day and the work ethic that he had, incredible human being.
Nadima usoli, dalu libutu namanga la mntu mdala. Dalu libu umgiva la mntu mdala. Every Friday ubhizi nomntu mdala.
Actually, he was like, remember he stays next to my place. Where he stays, and he was thankful to me because I am the one who toughened him a bit. I actually assisted him a lot in terms of, now he was researching serious. Remember when he started? There was a time where he started, and then I think he was coming from that side, TV side, and then we came. He said, "No, Andile, I met Rapeleng. He said he listened to our show. Hey, my man, I need to improve. I need to." So of course, you have to. And he said, no. Actually, he said nice things about the show. He said the show is good. He listened to us. We're doing a good job and all those things. From there, he started like really preparing and all those kind of things. He's a kind guy. I've known him, for more than 10 years.
Yeah, when he arrived, he arrived in your
definitely.
hands.
In the meetings, soccer meetings, one of the guys, you will know that he has never fight with anyone. He was a peaceful guy. Him and Pumut almost arrived at the same time. And all of them, they had almost similar qualities because they just, obvious, peaceful guys who wanted just to be on TV. And this one was more like Kaizer Chiefs side, Pirate side. Mkhonza, even though he played for Kaizer Chiefs and all those things, also had I think when he grew up, he supported Pirates.
He did? Yeah. We can say that now.
Yeah. Because I felt like, okay, should I say it? But he did. He was like, he told me, I told him, Kosi for life. He said, no, I'm a Pagania. So, okay. So I thought because he played, yes, I did play at Kaizer Chiefs. I've got history and all those kind of things. But There are people in football that like Bobby Mtaonge, whom Mkhonza really enjoyed working under when he was at Chiefs. He liked Bobby so much. He actually made me like Bobby because he showed me the other side of Bobby. So he just wants players to perform and all those kind of things. We'll miss him in the show, but it's so painful that he passed away. You wish he's still alive, because if you look at how nice and how peaceful, no one will say Mkhonza did this to me. He's just one of those guys who just wanted everyone to be happy.
Let me go to another 70s kid. Now that we
Not
know.
quite, not quite.
Now that we know.
Nah, it's the funny thing is on Tuesday morning, I got a call from Stanton Fredericks actually, and he says to me, "Hey, condolences on the loss of your colleague." And by then I hadn't heard the news because I'm not that guy who wakes up and is on social media and whatever else, so I didn't know. So he was informing me literally, and I was like, "What do you mean?" And then he said, "Hey man, haven't you heard?" And then my heart just dropped. Because I knew he wasn't well, and it was almost automatically my mind went, and my heart literally just sunk. And I think I called you immediately after just to confirm but what Stanton said to me was obviously that the Legends group at Kaizer Chiefs, I think it was announced on there, and you can even mention how like everyone was just it hit all of them, because you form a community, for different clubs that you play for. And so clearly he was really well liked amongst the Kaizer Chiefs community and the players, the former players and the legends of the club. And for me personally, my heart just dropped. And since Tuesday, you now go and you reflect on all the moments, the interactions, and we've had such great conversations over the years. First, our rivalries on the field, I've come up against him. I remember we always talk about the Nedbank Cup final 2010. He was at Amazulu, I was at Bidvest. It was a great game. We won 3-0, but that game we always go back to and we speak about it and how things went down. How they beat Sundowns in the semi-final. We beat Free State Stars in the semi-final to, that epic showdown.
I actually remember this so well.
Yeah, Roger was the coach there.
Yeah, exactly. And so those were we often reflected on that. And then our time here at SABC, where we, worked together time and time again, whether on radio, on TV, was absolutely stellar. But also, we are both coaches and we were both aspiring coaches. So we've both done our respective badges, or we're continuing our coaching education, and we would constantly speak about it and speak about the difficulties in the coaching space and the opportunities or lack of opportunities available. But yeah, he was just a phenomenal character, and I have to agree with Eddie, such a likable character. Anyone who had an issue with Mkhonza must actually they must look at themselves and say, what is wrong with me? Because
introspection.
He's such a lovable guy, and yes, I mean, he's going to be greatly missed. And, again, condolences to the family and to, the football fraternity, to SABC family. We're all really, really going to miss him. And he's left a void. He's certainly left a massive void.
Boys, well done. Stellar job at, saying goodbye to one of our own. It's never an easy thing. It's one that we never want to do. None of us ever want to say we said goodbye to a colleague. But Mkhonza, Dr. Mnandi, thank you so much for everything, yeah? Let's let this topic rest. Never forgotten, though. Never forgotten. We're going to take your calls. We're going to touch on the derby up next. 6:43, big game tomorrow. Going to be taking your calls in just a bit. Let's go straight into it. It's Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates, at a time when, Kaizer Chiefs come into this having won their first match of 2024, having scored a goal for the first time since the 30th of December after 3 games played with nothing there. But they do have the best defensive record when you look at the two. They're second to only Sundowns. You look at Bruce Vuma and his form. There's a lot to speak about there. So, Biso, let's go. Soweto derby.
Soweto derby, I think it's one of those matches where everyone always says history and the statistics go out the window and whoever performs on the day is going to win the game. But if we were to look at recent history, right, you look at Orlando Pirates this season, they've scored 40 goals from 14 different players. 14 different players. Kaizer Chiefs has 21 goals from 9 players, with Andile scoring their first goal of the year so far. So Kaizer Chiefs is really struggling in front of goal to convert whatever chances they are able to create, which is another struggle in itself, creating those opportunities. So if you look at that, and then you also look at the fact that in the last 10 games, I think it's only been 2 of the 10 games where the match has been won by more than 1 goal. And that's the occasion, I think, where they played those semi-final for MTN 8 a couple of years ago, where Pirates won 3-0 at home and then 2-0 away from home. So if you look at those recent statistics, it would suggest that the only way that Kaizer Chiefs is going to be able to win this game is if they do what they've been doing in the last few games, which is keeping those clean sheets, and then they manage to nick a goal. Orlando Pirates has more goal scorers in their team, and they are creating more opportunities. So I do feel like it's Orlando Pirates is probably in a better spot to win this game.
Mark? Hey, the man just gave us the stats there.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's hard to argue with the stats. But honestly, I look at performances and the stats have everything to do with that. But I go back to Wednesday's game, Kaizer Chiefs' game against Golden Arrows. And it was a tough one for me because I feel like Arrows could have won that game 4-1. Quite literally, better finishing, and it would be a very different story that we're talking right now. Kaizer Chiefs did get the win, and congratulations to them for that. But I hope that they don't fool themselves with that win, because that was far from convincing, to be honest with you. It doesn't inspire confidence.
The coach, Kevin Johnson, said that match proved that they've turned a corner.
I don't think so, not even close. If you look at the performance on the day, Golden Arrows, I think, should have walked away with that game. At least they could have and when I say scored, I'm talking about clear-cut chances where you literally threw 1v1, whatever the case may be. I think Vuma has been incredible. His stats are great. I know Nadim loves stats. It is, I think it's 7 clean sheets in 8 games or something along those lines, which is remarkable. But Kaizer Chiefs are not convincing on the field. And I don't think they've come up against a team that's really been able to punish their frailties. Even against Milford. Against Milford was even more disappointing than the Arrows game. And so Chiefs are, at the moment, they're there for the taking. And if Pirates get it right on the day, I think Chiefs could get punished.
I'm going to bring this one to you because I know you're a huge fan of young players and this Duba player in particular. There's a frenzy of people hoping to see a Duba versus Mofokeng.
I hope Duba doesn't start. I said, the previous game, I think on Soccer Zone, I said to you, he's the type of player that needs to get a start. He needs to play more games. He came on and he scored that goal. But too many times, we've tried to make saviors out of kids that are not ready yet. And he's not the savior of Kaizer Chiefs. We need to be very clear about that. I think he's a fantastic player, and I hope he grows into his ability.
And I believe you because Mark has been speaking about Duba, even on this show, for a very long time.
And so, again, I hope now we don't expect all of a sudden he's going to be this. He needs time. I love he scored an absolute phenomenal goal. And he's capable of scoring goals. But he's not going to be the savior of Kaizer Chiefs.
So to say Duba versus Mofokeng is just something that we shouldn't even be looking at.
It's premature. And that's the thing. I remember there was a player, Ace Bengo, that we played with.
I remember Ace Bengo.
Everyone,
from the Eastern Cape, I think he was.
We literally played one game. He scored 2 goals against Kaizer Chiefs, and all of a sudden...
I remember David Kekana said we found a new Penny McCarthy.
The next Penny McCarthy.
From there, he turned out to be a defender.
He's played one game, scored 2 goals.
He was a Swallows at some point, was he not?
No, it was Swallows.
With Gordon Nicholson, yeah.
I'm talking about at Swallows. When he did this, I was in that team. I was part of that team.
Yes.
The very next Monday, cameras were there. Everyone was there, wanted a piece of Ace Bengo, and they made him a superstar. And he could have been, but he wasn't ready at the time for all that pressure. And now if we do the same thing to the likes of Duba, Mofokeng has had a lot more game time, so he's ready. He's in it already. So him, definitely, you can look to him to really set the scene alight. But give Duba time. Let him play 5-10 games before we expect him to really be the, savior, whatever the case may be.
Ace played for a team in PE as well called Umlilo. I can't remember what the actual name was, but it was a team called Umlilo in the Eastern Cape in PE that he played for as well. Ace Bengo, I remember him all too well.
Yeah.
He was going to be the next big thing as far as goal scoring for South Africa is concerned. Nadim, the Soweto derby.
Yeah, it's now very clear. It's difficult to say when Chiefs is going to play a match, they will win a match because there are so many problems with Kaizer Chiefs. If you look how they played against Arrows, how they've been playing the past few weeks, you can see that this team, Kevin Johnson, has really not gotten the chance of coaching Kaizer Chiefs and improve the team. maybe it's one of those things he will regret, because you feel that he had a very good opportunity, Kevin Johnson, to improve the players. If you look at the players that maybe you can say only one player you feel maybe Kevin Johnson has improved is Bruce Bavuma, the goalkeeper. Of course, Brendan Peterson made a mistake. From there, Bruce Bavuma has been playing ever since. He has done excellent. But if you look at the team, it's not convincing at all. Pirates, again, they are coached by a wrong guy. I did say they will never win the league under Jose Rivera as a coach. This guy, despite Chiefs' problems, Pirates are only
like him. I like Jose.
No, besides Kaizer Chiefs' problem, if you look, sometimes there's something that Kaizer Mdangwe did said last year, and we ignored him when he said, "We say Pirates are doing well, but if you look at the log, only even now 1 point behind Kaizer Chiefs. If Kaizer Chiefs can beat Pirates tomorrow, they'll be on top of Pirates." Same number of points.
Chiwas, you don't think about that, do
that's
you?
why,
because we say Pirates is
we
doing
praise,
well,
yeah, we praise
and
Pirates.
Chiefs isn't.
Yeah.
But when you look at the log, and Kaiser did say this last season when he was speaking to BBK.
Correct. We camouflage it. We praise Pirates too much, unnecessary. We shouldn't be praising Pirates, because if you look how they've been playing, they're the same with Kaizer Chiefs. Even you look at the log, only 1 point. Last season, all those things, everything is almost the same. Pirates are in a bad position. They do have the better squad. Actually, we should be criticizing Pirates more because they have a better squad than Pirates. If you look at the Pirates players, Pirates are better players than Chiefs.
Yeah,
exactly. Pirates players are Bafana players who played well in the AFCON. Evidence Mahoba even scored against Morocco. You look at CBC, at one point in time, it looked like Kogi and Da. They've got the best defenders in South Africa. If you look at the Pirates is the most underperforming team in the PSL this season. If you look at the quality, two of their players were Bafana stars, Lipasa and their strikers, and Mahoba. So you feel this, why Pirates are struggling? Why are they not improving? Why are they not like ahead of Cape Town City? Cape Town City, if you look at the squad, Eric Tinkler is doing a good job, because if you look, their squad is not good enough, equally to even where they are. Pirates have a better team than Stellenbosch, but Stellenbosch have already outshone Pirates this season. They played 4 times and lost 3 times. I feel that Pirates deserve the same criticism as Kaizer Chiefs. Both big teams, Soweto Giants, are not winning the league, obviously, this season or
I think
next year.
The one thing
but
that is
they're
considered, Nadeem, is the fact that they have won trophies.
No, they've only won trophy against Sundowns in the M10-8, where they played 2 hours without.
Yeah, what I'm saying is in the seasons, last season 2 trophies, they have won trophies.
Yeah, but this season, they actually, beside the M10-8, Pirates have really been struggling. Right. That's why you feel like this coach, I see Kaizer Chiefs the biggest team. Sometimes maybe the fans are the one talking, but if you look at the performance, you feel like the teams are almost the same.
Wow, let's go to Opta very quickly. Opta, thank you so much for joining us as per usual. Soweto Derby, a big one. We're speaking about Duba and Mofokeng here. What can you tell us about the Derby in age?
Andile, good evening to you and the listeners. And before I go even further, condolences to everyone on the team.
Of course, I forget. You're part of this team, yes.
Absolutely. So what we have in regards to young players is that only one teenager has ever scored in the Soweto Derby in a league game, and that was Tso Vilakazi back in 2001, aged 19 years and 4 months old.
How old was he?
19 years and 4 months.
Those that are thinking of Dr. Kumar, obviously the stats come from a PSL era.
96, yeah.
Yeah, so we don't count anything before the PSL era. So Tso Vilakazi at 19 is the only teenager that's ever scored in the PSL era in the Soweto Derby.
Yes, that is true. And then the youngest for Kaizer Chiefs is Knowledge Musona, but he was 20 years old and 4 months in 2010 when he scored.
So we could relive history. Mofokeng scored this week. Duba scored this week. The 2 teenagers go into this and could make history if they score. An interesting one. What else do you have for me? Opta, you there? Oh, I don't know if Opta's gone or if Timmy did his things. I don't trust him. But do follow him on X.
I'm trying to write you something, but I don't know it.
No, it's fine. Write it somewhere and give it to me. Let's take a very quick break, a very quick one, because I want to go straight into calls. All right, let's go straight into it. I'm glad I didn't get dragged into what Nadeem was trying to drag us into. Tso Vilakazi is the youngest, and Tso listens, by the way. Tso listens to every single show. So Tso, congratulations, you still hold that record. Let's go to our corner. Our corner is out in the. Please switch off. The youngest player to score in the derby. Our corner.
Hello, Ma.
Hey, man, talk to me.
Yeah, well, Ma, first I just want to send the condolences to the Mkhonza family. I think they must just, Mkhonza, God decided that now he needs him to go and work in the heaven. He did his job here. Yeah, so now it's his time to go to heaven. Yeah.
No,
Well,
100%.
when it comes to the derby, I believe Pirates will win this one based on performance, based on form, based on how Chiefs plays. Like ever since this season started, I don't give Chiefs a chance. Pirates will win this one by more.
What do you make of what Nadeem says? Nadeem says Chiefs and Pirates are the same. That's why there's only 1 point difference between the two of them.
No, I don't think they're the same because Pirates is playing better than Chiefs. For me, Pirates, Pirates players, they show hunger than Kaizer Chiefs players. Kaizer Chiefs players, it seems like they are forced to go and play.
Wow.
The way they do things.
Akona, let's leave it there. Thank you so much. He's out in the Eastern Cape. Bay United. Thank you, Biso. Bay United, Umlilo. That's where Ace went. Ace Beng went. Yeah, he went there to Bay United. That's what is known as Umlilo. I think they sold the status then. Let's go to Benzo. Benzo's out in Palm Ridge. Benzo.
Hey,
Hey, man. I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm all good, all good. First and foremost, condolences to Mkhonza and his family. We will miss him. I think it's also time for us to let him go. So condolences to him and to his family.
No, 100%.
So, so I just want to talk about the derby. I am a Pirates fan, by the way, and I totally agree with Nadeem. We should be criticizing. We should be criticizing Pirates the way that they are playing. Actually, they were supposed to be at least fighting Mamelodi Sundowns. So tomorrow, I'm also going to the stadium, but I'm just going there because I'm a Pirates fan. I love the game, but to be honest, I'm disappointed with this season, especially in the league. Even though we have the MTN 8, and I believe maybe the Nedbank Cup, we might have it as well. But in terms of the league performance or the form, I'm really, really disappointed. We're expecting a lot from Pirates. But again, I understand this is maybe like the second season for the coach. Usually, it is more difficult. Like the second season for any coach in the world is the most difficult one. So probably that's it.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it out in Palm Ridge. Mandla is out. I think it's an orange farm because Timmy just wrote orange. So I'm thinking orange farm. Mandla.
Orange Grove.
Orange Grove. There you go. Talk to me.
Condolences for the Mkhonza. He's my big fan. This guy, I love him so much. That's why I love Chiefs so much because they make me love Chiefs because he play good. You know what? Because he passed away, I'm very crying. I cry out there and said, it's okay, God, you know what to do because he's a good guy.
Oh, Mandla.
Yeah, tomorrow, Derby, Kaizer Chiefs beat Pirate tomorrow. I'm a fan for Kaizer Chiefs.
Just that's it. They just beating them.
You know what? I'm not going to stadium. I'm not going to stadium now. You know what? Tomorrow I go to beat the Pirates.
Okay. All right, Mandla. Thank you so much. That's simple. They're winning, guys. It was a tough one. It wasn't an easy one. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You're on TV tomorrow, but you're doing the Premier League? What game are we doing? Do you know? You're not sure?
It slipped my mind. I don't know why in my mind.
No?
I'll come back to you.
All right. Bisa, we'll see you on Monday again.
Thank you so much, Ma'a.
Nadeem?
Yeah, Friday.
Yeah. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I got to get out of here. Thanks so much for being a part of the show. From me and this entire squad, this amazing squad that comes here every single Friday to have football conversations. Just a bunch of people sitting around. We appreciate it.